Hi everybody. So today we are going to study cookies in PHP. Okay. Now before we do cookies in PHP, what you need to do is you need to just go through this isSet function, and you need to go through this isSet function and varDem function. Now the isSet function is not a part of cookies, but it is used in cookies sessions many a times. Very briefly speaking, the isSet function will check whether a particular variable is set or not. In other words, it will check whether a particular variable has a value or it does not have a value. So I have given a program and have explained it very well. When you go through these notes, you will definitely understand the isSet function. Okay. Now let's start with cookies in PHP. So if you see the definition of cookie, what it says is, it says that a cookie is basically a data item which the web server will store on the user's computer using the web browser. A cookie can contain any type of data. It can contain any data, but that data must be under 4 KB. Now what exactly a cookie is used for? So a cookie is used by the web server to identify the user's computer. Now what exactly that means? So to understand this, let's take one example. Now this is the website amazon.in, and I have already logged into my account. Now I have been wanting to buy a book, a novel called Waking Gods. Okay, so now this is the novel. Now look at my cart over here, follow the mouse pointer. You see there are 0 items in my cart. Now I click on this and I add this novel to my cart. Okay, so look here, I add it to my cart, and after I add it to my cart, look at my cart again, it has 1 item now. Okay, now let me close this browser completely. So look, I am going to close the browser. Okay, now after closing the browser completely, let me again go to Amazon. So I start Google Chrome again and I go to amazon.in, and when I go to amazon.in, look at my cart. It says that there is 1 item in the cart. Okay, and when I go over here, you will see that this 1 item is this Waking Gods, which I had stored the last time I had gone to amazon.in. Okay, so what exactly happens over here? See, what has happened over here is amazon.in has stored a cookie on my computer, and using this cookie, Amazon identifies my computer uniquely. So what happens is, whenever I log on to Amazon, the first thing it checks is the cookie, and when it comes to know that this is the computer, this is a browser of Sandeep Gupta, it will accordingly modify the card. Okay, so that's what I said, that a cookie is used by the web server to identify the user's computer. Okay, you can consider a cookie like, let's say, a unique code like a bank account number or employee code, using which the server identifies the client. It is a code given by the server to the client for identification purpose. Okay, now I'm going to teach you one program on cookies, but before that, what I want to tell you is, you should pause this video and you should go through the theory which I have given over here. So go through the entire theory, and then when you have read the entire theory, you can again continue watching the video, and we'll start with this one program called cookies.php. Okay, so pause the video and go through the theory. Okay, welcome back. I assume that you have read the theory. So now let's go to the program. So this is the program cookies.php, and simultaneously what I'll do is I'll also start the local host. Okay, and I'll keep the browser side by side. So this is the browser. Okay, and this is the program. Okay, now let's try to understand what happens over here. Now what I'll do is I'll refresh this browser again. I'll refresh the program. The program is called cookies1.php and see what it displays. Okay, let's wait for, okay, let me do one change over here. Look over here, follow the mouse pointer. I'll type 10 over here. This 10 means 10 seconds. Okay. Alright, so now I have made it 10 seconds, which I'll explain you, and now I'll refresh this browser. So I refresh the browser. Okay, let's wait for 10 seconds. There's some reason because of which we need to wait for 10 seconds. Okay, I think 10 seconds are over. So now I refresh this browser, and when I refresh this browser after 10 seconds, see this output which says not set. Now I have given the explanation of the output over here, but right now you don't need to read it because I'll explain you. Okay, so consider this not set right now. Now how did you get the output not set? So let's see this. First of all, let me tell you one thing. See, this program is called cookies1.php. That means it is a PHP program. But if you look at this program a little carefully, you will realize that I have used the HTML code over here. I have used the HTML tags over here. So it is perfectly valid to use HTML tags in a PHP program. That's absolutely all right. What you can do is, whenever you want to use the PHP, you can mention the PHP code this way. All right. So this is a PHP file which has the HTML tags, which is okay. All right. So what this HTML file has done, it has displayed this particular paragraph, and after that the PHP starts. Now within the PHP, I use a variable value in line number 9. It is a simple string variable and I give it the value not set. Okay, so value is a string which is not set. Now what happens is, within the condition of the if, I use a function called isSet. Okay, and look at the parameter of the isSet. This is the parameter of isSet. Be a little attentive, please. See, if you see carefully, what I'm doing over here is I'm using an associative array called cookie, or to be very precise, I'm using an associative array called underscore cookie. And look at the ID over here. The ID over here is my cookie. I mean the index over here is my cookie. Okay. So what this function isSet will do, it will check whether the array, whether the element cookie of my cookie is set or unset. In other words, the function isSet will check whether cookie of my cookie has any value or not. So currently this does not have any value, and that's why this isSet will return false. Because isSet will return false, line number 11 won't execute. If you still have any doubts about how this isSet and cookie of my cookie works, no problem. Let's go ahead and you will understand this in a while. Now line number 11 won't execute because the condition is false. Now there is an echo statement within which I have written $value. So remember, the value of $value is not set. So line number 12 will display this not set. Now after the not set is displayed, I repeat, after the not set is displayed, we execute line number 13. Very important. Now this is a call to a function setCookie. Now as the name says, what setCookie will do, it will set a cookie on the user's computer. So now on the user's computer, a cookie will be stored with name myCookie, and this cookie will have the value IPCookie. Okay. Moreover, the third parameter is the time duration for which the cookie should live on the user's computer. So if I write time plus 10, it means that the cookie will automatically expire after 10 seconds. By the way, this time which you see over here, this thing is actually a function, a predefined function which will give you the current time on user's computer. And this 10 which you see over here is basically 10 seconds. So by writing time plus seconds, what we have done is we are instructing the user's computer to store the cookie for 10 seconds, and after that the cookie will automatically get destroyed, it will expire. Okay, now what I do is I refresh this. Okay, so when I refresh this, you will see not set again. Okay, so I refresh and you see not set again. Oh, I'm sorry, I did it twice. Okay, let's wait for 10 seconds again. Okay, now I refresh, and now when I refresh, you see not set. So this not set must have been displayed by this echo, and then this set cookie must have executed. And now I refresh again. Now when I refresh again, you see IP cookie over here. Now how did you see this IP cookie? Because remember, in the last execution, after this echo executed, set cookie also executed, and the set cookie has stored a cookie called my cookie with the value IP cookie. Now what happens is, when I refresh this for the second time within 10 seconds, I repeat, when I refresh this for the second time within 10 seconds, what will happen is inside this thing, cookie of my cookie, a value will be found which will be called IP cookie. I repeat, inside this thing, cookie of my cookie, a value will be found which is called IP cookie. And because a value is found, that's why isSet will return true. And that same value is stored in the variable value in line number 11. That's why now line number 12 will display IP cookie and not set. Okay. By the way, now the 10 seconds have elapsed since the last refresh. So let me refresh it again and let's see what happens. So you will see not set again. Can you tell me why? Yeah, because the cookie has already expired, that's why. Okay, now let's do one thing. I make it 300. Okay. By the way, 300 seconds is nothing but 5 minutes. Now I want the cookie to be alive for 500. I want the cookie to be alive for 5 minutes. Why? I'll tell you very shortly. So I save this and again I refresh this. So not set, and now you see IP cookie. Now I want to convince you that the cookie is really stored on our computer. So what I do is, see, I go to Google settings. Okay, I go to settings. Now within the settings, what I do is I click on this advanced. Okay, then within advanced, what I do is I go to this content settings, then look at this cookies, I go to cookies, and look at this, I go to see all cookies. Now let's search for the cookie which our local computer has stored. So what I do is I search over there, look at the search, local. Okay, I just type local, so it gave me local host. Okay, now when I click on local host, you will see this my cookie. By the way, these two things are system defined, so let's not go into that. So look at this my cookie. Now I go to my cookie and you can see some interesting things. See, the name is my cookie, the value, the content is IP cookie. Okay, the domain is localhost, and something very interesting, look at the time when it was created. So it was created at 11:06 p.m. and look at the time it is going to expire. It is going to expire at 11:11 p.m. So this means that the cookie is going to live in my computer for 5 minutes. Okay, so after 5 minutes the cookie will expire, and that time when we check this condition is set, it is going to return false, because that time there will be no value inside cookie of my cookie. Okay, so that is how a cookie works.